So we will move on to the next team, which is any guesses?
DC United.
Nope, you missed one. Charlotte.
I just
Boo.
guessed. I didn't know we were going in order.
What do you boo?
I missed a
Uh
few then in that case. Columbus is ahead of them too.
in the door, Justin Miram, Scott Arfield, Brecci Dejari, Dejagari. Yikes. And then Jerry Uronen are in the door for Charlotte in a busy window. And out the door are Andre Shinyashiki by mutual consent and Noon Santos. Nuno Santos, Noon Menge, Noon Santos. I don't know. I don't know how you pronounce these Portuguese names anymore, but Santos is also out the door, sent back to Portugal. Um, didn't really pan out here, did he? There was a lot of hope for him, but it just didn't work, did it?
Feels
Um,
like another young Portuguese midfielder that came here one time.
whoa, look at you with the ball knowledge. Stop flexing, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
So they add in all levels of their team. So Jerry Uronen in the back, Brecci and Scott Arfield in midfield, and then Justin Miram in the attacking phase, right? So all of them permanent transfers. For me, I like it. I think that this shows that they know they didn't have the greatest start to the year when a lot of people thought they would be better than not better. And they could have sat down and said, you know what? It happens. We're just going to accept it. We're sitting in 12th. We're 4 points out of the playoff spot. We've given up 40 goals. You know, Enzo Capetti might get off the mark. Let's see what happens. No, they went out and they put the players around him that need to do that. So really like that look for them. Shinyashiki had a really good start for them when he came in, put up some really good numbers, like little flash in the pan, and then kind of died out. So clear some space with him getting out. Um, and then as we mentioned, Santos not really getting off the mark. So you've added experience and age in the midfield with Brecht and Scott Arfield at 32 and 34 to surround Brant Bronico, Chris Haggart, and now Ashley Westwood. So they've got a good experienced midfield three. Left back depth where Joseph Moore wasn't quite doing the deal, so they go and get a finished left back, very much MLS 3.0. We like that. And then yeah, you go and get Justin Miram. We talked about kind of moved in already to give you some experience up front. So they went with a bit more experience. I like it. I think they've definitely gotten better. And the players that they've let go have freed up space for these guys to play. Um, I really, really think that left back is going to be the biggest addition for them in Jerry Uronen. I think 29 years old, good experience over in France. A lot of teams going to France, by the way. There's another one that did a big French haul. Um, so big fan of the incomings. The outgoings are okay too. I think for me, the best player in, like I mentioned, is going to be that left back in Jerry Uronen. I'm excited for him to switch up that back line a little bit. And I'll say Andre Shinyashiki because he was a really good fun game Friday for me. Is my worst out. Uh,
Just was
overall
one game.
grade, overall grade, give me B. Give me a B here. I like it.
Wow.
I like it. I like it. I'm all in on the Charlotte trade.
Wow. That's shock. You gave them a B and you gave Montreal, what was it? Like a C?
I gave him a B minus.
I think you said C.
No, I did. I gave him a flat C. Montreal didn't do it. We just talked about Montreal not doing the enough with what they had. We just talked about
I
this.
mean, I personally don't think Charlotte's done enough with what they've had, to be honest with you. I agree that Montreal hasn't done enough of what they had. Um, I had transfer market was working a second ago, and now it just crashed. But
Nice, you broke it. Jerk.
um, I'm gonna go on a first name basis because I'm not even gonna try and pronounce those names that you just pronounced. Um, I do think Jerry was brought in a position of need at that left back spot, but has not really played a lot. He had less than 1,000 minutes last year, and the year before that, he also had less than 1,000 minutes. So yes, he was in the French first division, but was not really playing much. Was also with Schalke at some point last year. Also did not play a ton. So and I know nothing about him, so it's hard for me to comment on how successful he'll be, but at least it was in a position that seemed to be of need. So nothing really too wrong there. They seem to be going the geriatric route for the midfield. I don't know what is with the
Oh.
Charlotte and going with older midfielders. Uh, I they have three midfielders now, 32 and older. I think they've seen what Atlanta had done in the goalkeeper position, and I think they got some inspiration from that. Um, Scott Arfield has a backup at Rangers. Didn't play a ton. He had 1,056 minutes in 31 appearances, only 7 starts. Um, hasn't really been a consistent starter at Rangers since the 1920 season. Not the year 1920, 2019, 2020. Um, so I don't really know what to expect with that either. And then Brecht. Brecht seems to be a pretty decently exciting one. Was a pretty consistent starter for Toulouse. Seems to be a bit more of an attacking midfielder from what it looked like statistically. So that should definitely be interesting. I feel like that could be a good Nuno Santos replacement. Kind of assuming that Nuno was more of an attacking mid. Uh yeah, and then I would say Brecht has been their best addition. And then in terms of worst departure, I'm gonna go Shin Yoshiki, not because he's a fun day Friday favorite, but because I think he had the most impact out of him and Santos. For the window, I'm gonna flip flop with you. I'm gonna give them a C.
Okay. And again, it's all about what you look at, right? So for me, that midfield needed when you look at building a team and you look at the way that teams have done it, if your midfield three are young, but they're not world beaters, you're going to get beat. So it's not a terrible thing to have older players if they're the right older players. And I think Westwood's been a good addition. I was worried about his injury. He seems like he's okay. I think him and Arfield together are good. And then Brecht can be that third difference maker. The intelligence of when to step, when to slide, when to rotate of a 30-year-old player who's been playing the game for 10 years is just better of a 20 than a 21 or a 22-year-old player, even if they're high potential, more exciting. This is going to teach those guys to get better. It's going to give them a little bit more experience. Even Brant Bronico at 28 is going to pick up something new here and there and do a job. So I think you're going to see a step up just in the overall level of play. So that's where I am with
Sure.
them.
To your point, though,
I
to
don't
your
want to
point
hear it.
before, they have conceded the most goals in the league and only added one person in the back line. So didn't do a lot to address the defensive issues.
That sounds like a you issue.
That sounds like a Charlotte issue.